left side, you will see a nice harness store here on the left. Yes, on the left. Harness designed special bag for Grace Kelly, the Kelly bag. And in front of you, you have a little garden. Behind the garden, you have a large department store. The luxury department store. The name is Bon Marché. We'll see a church. Saint-Sulpice Church. Did you read the book of Dan Brown, Da Vinci Code? Oui, so it's the church of the Da Vinci Code. Here. A nice church dating from the 18th century. And you know Catherine Deneuve? She's living there, the French actress, Catherine Deneuve. She's living in the building on the left, at the top of the building. So just have a look to the nice architecture of the buildings. For example, this one, dating from the 18th century. So on the left here, you have a museum. And you will see it on the left, the Luxembourg Museum, here. And you have an exhibition dedicated to Gertrude Stein. You know that Ernest Hemingway stayed a long time in Paris when I was in Paris after World War I, and he made Gertrude Stein.
Ah d'accord, j'ai cru Catherine Deneuve. Non, ça va, je l'assure. Là, pour l'instant, on ne souffre pas trop de la chaleur, on est bien.
This garden is very appreciated by the students because it's close to the Sorbonne University and High School, and also for the children during the weekend because you have a Muppet show, you have donkey horses, a merry-go-round. Here the back of the Medici fountain, a nice fountain built by the Queen Mary of Medici. She was Italian from the Medici family. The back of the Odeon Theatre, just in front of you. It's the National Theatre. The building is dating from the 18th century. So here you have the entrance of the Senate. So in this part of Paris you will see many bookstores and publishing houses because we are in the area of universities and high school. Just in front of you, you have a large garden. The name of the garden is Jardin des Tuileries, Tuileries Garden. Inside of the Tuileries Garden, you have a nice palace built by the Queen Mary of Medici after the death of her husband, Henry IV, sorry. And the palace, it's turned into the Senate. is the seat of the Senate. It's here that you have the senators. You will see another very famous monument in Paris. The name is the Panthéon. You will discover here on the left. It was at the origin of a church built by the King Louis XV in the 18th century, and then it was turned into a Panthéon. It means a burial place for famous people. It's built like a Greek cross. In the center of the cross you have a huge cupola. So it's a burial place for famous writers, for example, Voltaire. You have also Victor Hugo, who are buried there. And also famous, yes, there is a wedding. You see the bride is coming. So we are turning around the Panthéon. You have also famous people like resistance, like of the Second World War, like Jean Moulin, for example. And Josephine Baker, the American Josephine Baker, dancer, famous dancer, is buried here in the Panthéon.
Wow.
She was a secret agent during World War II, and she wrote a very nice song. I have two love, my country and Paris. I'm sure you know this song. And she's the only American woman buried there in the Panthéon. Here on the right side, a nice church, Saint-Étienne du Mont Church. Did you see the Woody Allen film, Midnight in Paris? It was the church of the film. So now we are driving along the Saint-Geneviève Library. For the students of the Latin Quarter, you can see the long line of students at the entrance of the library. And here, that's a part of the Sorbonne University. So here, it's a part of the Sorbonne University, and on the other side, the same architecture is the town hall of the 5th district of Paris. It's here that you have a wedding. And now we are going down the little hill, Saint-Geneviève Hill. We are in the Rue Soufflot. Soufflot is the name of the architect who built the Panthéon during the time of King Louis XV in the 18th century. The south part of the church.
Yeah.
So now we are on the left bank of Paris. We are going to see the Latin Quarter. Latin Quarter because they spoke Latin there in the Middle Ages. Was the area of students in the Middle Ages. Here that was created the first university, the Sorbonne University. Here you can see the back of the Saint-Séverin Church, a nice Gothic flamboyant church. You can see the gargoyles of the church, dating from the 15th century. So we are going to the top of a little hill. The name of the hill is Saint-Geneviève. Geneviève is the patron saint of Paris. And in a few minutes on the right side you will see a part of the Sorbonne University building. In fact you have different buildings for the Sorbonne University. It was the oldest university of Paris, created in the Middle Ages, but the building, of course, was rebuilt later on. On the left, you have Louis le Grand high school, the best high school of Paris. City Island, it's the oldest part of Paris. It's here that Paris started more than 2,000 years ago. And the first inhabitants were the Parisi tribe. They gave their names to Paris. So here a nice view over the cathedral with the two towers. Yes, Momo tried to drive slowly to give you the opportunity of taking a picture. Jacques Tower, it was formerly a church, a large church destroyed during the revolution of La Commune in 1871, same period of the destruction of the City Hall of Paris. So now we are leaving the right bank, we are crossing the Seine River for going to the City Island. On the right side, a nice view of the Conciergerie Palace, and on the left side you have here the oldest hospital of Paris, the Hôtel Dieu. You will see also a nice flower market of the City Island of Paris. And in few minutes you will see Notre Dame, or cathedral. You know that 4 years ago the cathedral was on fire, burning during more than 15 hours. So the roof was completely destroyed and the spire collapsed. So nowadays Notre Dame is under restoration. They restored the cathedral. It's an old building dating from the Middle Ages. It was built between 1163 and 1245. It's a transition between Romanesque and early Gothic style. And it's one of the first church in France to have flying buttresses. The flying buttress, a new element of the early Gothic style.
Yes, you.
Thank you. City Hall of Paris. There are 20 town halls in Paris and they all report to the City Hall. Each district of Paris, each arrondissement has its own town hall and they report to the City Hall. It's a large building. It was unfortunately destroyed during the revolution of La Commune in 1871 and rebuilt a few years later, exactly in the same style. It's a neo-Renaissance building, inspired of the Renaissance style. So the Hôtel de Ville here on the right side is celebrating the Olympic Games. You know that we will have the Olympic Games next summer. In July and August. And in front of you, maybe you will see a building different colors, green, red, yellow. It's the Beaubourg Center, a modern art museum. A chapel for the kings of France. Along the Seine River, you will see green boxes. It's booksellers. There are 216 booksellers like that in Paris. It's called the Bookingist. Here you can buy 700 postcards, and it was created in the 16th century. And it's listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Bookingist. It's a part of the history of Paris. It's a very picturesque. On the left side you have La Samaritaine. A part is the department store, another part is the 5-star luxury hotel. And then you have the Pont Neuf, the oldest station of Paris. It is dating from the early 17th century and it was built by the French king Henry IV. And in the middle of the bridge, you will see a statue representing the king Henry IV of France.
Ça passe ou ça casse?
On the right side, along the Seine River, you can see a large building. It was formerly a railway station built for the Welfare Exhibition of 1900. The railway station was closed at the beginning of the Second World War. It was nearly demolished in 1970 and finally turned into a museum, open to the public in 1986. So here you can see paintings of the 19th century. It's here that you can see the Impressionist paintings. And the building, which is located just in front of you, is a part of the Louvre Museum. Before being a museum, the Louvre was at the origin a fortress built by the King Philip August in 1190. Before his departure to crusade, he built a city wall to protect Paris, and outside the city wall, he built a fortress. 2 centuries later, in the 14th century, King Charles V built a second city wall. And this time, the Louvre fortress was located inside of the new city wall and lost its military function. It became a royal castle. Charles V turned the fortress into a castle. And all the kings of France, from the King Charles V in the 14th century to the King Louis XIV in the 17th century, live there, in the Louvre Palace. Each king of France had built a part of the Louvre Palace. So it's a very large building, 35,000 pieces of art. Not only paintings, but also sculpture and furniture. If you want to visit all the Louvre Museum, you need 15 days. It's here that you can see the painting of Mona Lisa, painted by Leonardo da Vinci. It's here that you have also a Greek sculpture like the Venus of Milo or the Victory of Samothrace, dating from the Hellenistic period, 2nd century BC. Here, the part of the Louvre built by the Queen Catherine of Medici after the death of her husband, Henry VII. Here, you have the part of the Louvre built by the King Louis XIV in 1682, just before his departure to Versailles. It's built in a classical style, the style of Louis XIV. And here on the left, the Church of the Kings of France, Saint-Germain d'Auxerrois. The building which is under restoration, it's the Grand Palais, Great Palace. And on the other side of the road, you have the Little Palace, Petit Palais. Those two palaces were built for the Welfare Exhibition of 1900. And they are used for temporal art exhibitions. In front of the Grand Palais, you have a statue of Charles de Gaulle, which is the founder of the 5th French Republic. And he was also, it's him who created the Free French Forces during World War II, the leader of the Free French Forces. On the left side, you will see the gate of the Élysée Palace, which is a residence of the French president since 1873. Here on the left, the gate of the Élysée Palace. So here on the right, Grand Palais, and on the left, Petit Palais. Two palaces built for the World Fair exhibition of 1900. And on the other side of the Seine River, you can see a large building with a golden cupola. It's the Invalides.
A small stop, please.
A nice view on the Petit Palais. You have the golden gate of the Petit Palais.
It's free.
It's the coat of arms of the city of Paris. It's a ship and the...
All good for you?
Oui.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome, sir. All pleasure for you.
On the left here, you have a statue representing Winston Churchill, the British minister. And here, a nice view on the Invalide Monument and the Alexander III Bridge. This bridge was built for the World Fair exhibition of 1900, same period of the Grand Palais and Petit Palais. Invalide means hospital for sole use. It was a hospital created by King Louis XIV in the 17th century. He was the first king to help war-wounded soldiers. And he built a hospital. Nowadays, you still have a part reserved for a hospital, and also it's a retirement home for veterans soldiers. And inside of the church, where there is the golden cupola, it's a burial area reserved for soldiers. It's here that you have the tomb of Napoleon I. Here you will see the Concorde Square. But it's impossible to go to the Concorde Square because actually there is the Rugby World Cup. So you will see the place from the gate. But we could not go inside of the square. In the center of the square, you will see the opposite of the Luxor, which came from Egypt, 3,000 years BC, from the temple of Luxor in Egypt. And then you have two buildings dating from the time of the King Louis XV. Built by the famous architect Ange Gabriel. In the first building, you have the Navy headquarters. It's actually turned into a museum. In the second building, you have the Crillon Hotel. It's a 5-star luxury hotel. And then you have the American Embassy. So you have a view on the Concorde Square, and we will turn to drive along the Seine River. Here you have a museum, the Orangerie Museum. It's here, but there are two rooms dedicated to the water lilies of Claude Monet. And this large park here on the left is the Tuileries Garden. was designed by André Lenôtre, the landscape gardener who designed the gardens of Versailles. On the right side, you will see a nice building here on the right. Dating from the time of Napoleon III, it was built by a Polish woman, La Paiva. Very nice architecture. And then here you have another building built by Napoleon III. It's Arcurial, it's auction house, the French auction house. It's like Christie's or Sotheby's. Here you have a nice fountains designed by the Bourulec brothers. It's contemporary art. It's made with bronze and crystal. Swarovski's crystal. Here the green part of the Champs-Élysées Avenue surrounded by gardens. Inside of the gardens you have theaters, you have museums, restaurants, delight restaurants.
Donc on tourne sur la droite.
Tour de France cycle race finish here on the Champs-Élysées Avenue. On the left side you have Guerlain for the perfume. Guerlain created in the 19th century a special perfume for the Empress Eugenia, the Imperial Water. Like Christian Dior,
Oh, really?
thanks to Christian Dior, Paris became the center of the fashion world after World War II. And here you have Louis Vuitton on the right side. Louis Vuitton store. Louis Vuitton is the name of a man who designed luggages for the Empress Eugenia, the wife of Napoleon III. And close to Louis Vuitton, you have the Fouquet's, which is a famous restaurant of the Champs-Élysées Avenue.
Louis Vuitton and Paris. Louis Vuitton.
It's here that you have a military parade. Each 14th of July to celebrate the Bastille Day. On the right side you have the Maduret. It's a famous tea room where you can eat the macaroons, the famous little cakes.
I got one.
And on the left, you have a statue representing the Maréchal Foch. He was a military of the First World War.
You want a nice picture? The sun on top.
You will make also nice picture on the other side of the Eiffel Tower. So here we are in Avenue Kléber. It's one of the 12 avenues surrounding the Arc of Triumph. We are in the 16th district of Paris. It's a nice district, very elegant with nice buildings. As you can notice, the buildings are not very high, only 5 or 6 floors. They are made with limestone, the local stone of Paris, and decorated with white iron balconies. Those buildings were built by Eugène Haussmann. Eugène Haussmann was chosen by Napoleon III to rebuild Paris. He destroyed the old part of Paris and built the large boulevards, avenues we have actually in Paris. So here you have the typical Haussmann architecture. We can find this kind of architecture it was constructed between 1850 and 1913. Eugene Haussmann was chosen by Napoleon III to make a renewable urban program. With new boulevards, also avenues and public parks. A nice metro entrance on the right side, designed by Hector Dinard, the man who built the metro entrances in Paris. The first metro line started in Paris for the World's Fair exhibition of 1900. It was after Paris. It was after, London. London metro line started in 1863. The underground line of London. And the subway metro line in New York City was constructed in 1868 and Paris in 1900. Outside you will see it's a very nice hotel, the Peninsula Hotel. It's a 5-star luxury hotel here on the right. And we arrive to the Arc of Triumph. The Arc of Triumph was built by Napoleon I to commemorate the Battle of Austerlitz, which took place in 1805. But the construction was very long, between 1806 and 1836. Exactly 30 years of construction, because they stopped the construction of the Arc after the abdication of Napoleon I. It was finished under the time of the King Louis Philippe. So here you can see the low relief representing the imperial wars, the war of Napoleon I. Two groups of statues here. The most famous group is representing La Marseillaise, our national item. And under the arch, there is a tomb of an unknown soldier who died during World War I and symbolizes all the soldiers who died for the French country. Under the arch, you can see the names of the battles of Napoleon I and the names of the high officers. On the other side of the arch, you can see two groups of statues representing the war and the peace.
One small stop, please.
Yeah, one more run.
Thank you. For you.
Okay, so you can take pictures of the arch. And behind the arch, you have the Champs-Élysées Avenue. If you look at the ground, if you look at the ground, you can see two colors of standing stones, pink and grey, forming a star, because 12 avenues are surrounding the arch. So we are leaving the Star Square, and we will go down the famous Champs-Élysées Avenue.
Where are you live now?
North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all the way down on the other side.
Yeah. It's far from Honolulu. Yes.
Including all the highway.
Look at these people.
Oh, shoji.
Okay, sing.
You know this song?
No.
Yeah.
It's a famous French song. So we are going down this very famous avenue, always crowded by day, by night. You have a great choice of restaurants, delight restaurants, but also McDonald's. And you have a car showroom. So here you have the back of the economic and social council, and the whole part of the building was built by Auguste Perrin, the same architect who rebuilt the city of Le Havre after World War II. And in front of you, the very nice architecture, Haussmann architecture. Haussmann is the name of the man who had rebuilt Paris during the time of Napoleon III, Second Empire. We arrive now to the Trocadero Square. Trocadero Square. There is a very nice view above the Eiffel Tower from this square.
This is one gift for you.
And here you have a monument celebrating the First World War. And it was made by Paul Lobowski, the architect who built the Christ in Rio de Janeiro. So here you have the palace of Chaillot, and a magnificent view over the Eiffel Tower. And we will make a stop on the other side of the Eiffel Tower this afternoon. At 10 p.m. The tower is twinkles, flashes every hours. So as I told you before, at the end of the tour, we will stop near the Eiffel Tower for your free time. So you will have plenty of time taking pictures of the Eiffel Tower. The name of the bridge here is the Jena Bridge. It was a bridge built by Napoleon I to celebrate a military victory and also to celebrate the birth of his son, the King of Rome. And on the left side you have a huge building. The name of the building is the Palace of Chaillot, Chaillot Palace. It was built for the World Fair exhibition of 1937, the last World Fair exhibition in Paris before World War II. It's a large building. Inside you have different museums. On the right side, you have the Architecture and Heritage City Museum, and on the left side, you have the National Navy Museum and the Anthropology Museum. Between the two buildings, you have a theater, the Chaillot National Theater. It's a reserve for contemporary dance.
By the window.
It's the name of French victory during World War II in North Africa.
C'est la bataille de Burak.
You can see there are two levels. The low part is reserved for cars, and the upper level is reserved for the metro. It's a metro line number 6 to connect the 15th district located on the left bank and the 16th district where we are actually in New York City.
Pas non plus qu'on laisse les gratter comme ça. construire des logements, c'est pas possible.
Of Paris, there are less than 2.5 million inhabitants in the center of Paris, and 10 millions inhabitants for Paris and its suburb. But the Parisians are going to live more and more outside Paris because the prices of apartments are very expensive in the center of Paris.
Et après, on rejoint le Trocadéro, comme ça, c'est bien.
So a nice view of the Eiffel Tower. It's here that we will make a stop for your free time, 2 hours of free time, but after the sightseeing tour of Paris. Before, you will have a sightseeing tour to visit Paris, to see the main monuments of Paris, the highlights of Paris. So the Eiffel Tower was built for the World Fair exhibition of 1889 to celebrate the 100 years anniversary of the French Revolution. In a few minutes, you will see the Statue of Liberty, a replica of the huge Statue of Liberty that you can see in the harbor of New York City. The statue that you have in New York was a present of the French people to celebrate the 100 years anniversary of the Independence Day, the 4th of July 1776, and to celebrate also the friendship between France and the United States. And this little Statue of the Liberty, the baby one, was given by the American people living in Paris. And this one was given by the Americans to celebrate the 100 years anniversary of the French Revolution. To celebrate the Bastille Day on the 14th of July 1789. And our Statue of Liberty is looking in direction of the American Statue of Liberty in New York City. The statue stands in a mine-made island. Paris is divided into 20 districts, 20 arrondissements. We call a district arrondissement. And to know the number of the district, it's easy. You just have to have a look to the name of the street. At the top of the name, you have the number of the district. And the first district is located in the center of Paris, near the Louvre Palace. And around you have the number 2, 3, 4. It's like a snail. So we are here on the right bank, and we are driving along the Seine. Australian embassy.
US Embassy?
Australian embassy here, with the Australian flag.
Australia.
And here you have the Japanese Cultural Center. And the Burakheim Bridge, divided in 2 parts, one reserved for the cars and the other one for the metro. It's the only way for the metro to cross the Seine River.
Là, tu vas tout droit.
Non, non, est-ce que tu as une préférence de route?
Bah, on va par la maison de la radio.
Tu vas à la maison de la
Oui,
radio?
c'est joli par là, les gens aiment bien.